For those who watched the movie Three Idiots, it is tough to forget Amir Khan's character, Funsuk Wangdu, or Rancho Das Shamal Das Chachad. Sonam Wangchuk may say he is not the real-life Funsuk Wangdu, but it is believed the character was largely inspired by this engineer, innovator, and education reformist who worked his way up to the zenith of fame, founding the Students' Education and Cultural Movement of Ladakh, SECMOL, which brought in many efficacious reforms, including the installation of an ice stupa, a perfect solution to the water crisis being faced by the farmers of Ladakh. Sonam Wangchuk comes across as a very affable and humble person. His life frame betrays the years that he has put in engineering and education and cultural movement in the remote land of high passes, that is Ladakh. He may have inspired a character of one of the three idiots, but he himself was looked at as a stupid person in the Srinagar school, which he entered rather late at the age of 9. Yes, Sonam's own education did not start on a smooth note. It was rather heartbreaking for the child to be maltreated by his peers just because he looked different and could not articulate in the language they were speaking. He recalls the period as the darkest of his life. Unable to bear this ordeal, in 1977, he escaped to Delhi, where he joined the Vishesh Kendriya Vidyalaya. The rest is history. Let us peep into the life of our next hero, Sonam Wangchuk. Born in the Trans-Himalayan region of Ladakh, India, and brought up in a tiny village of 5 households about 70 kilometers from Leh, Sonam Wangchuk spent the first 9 years of his life learning in what he calls a holistic, harmonious way. There weren't any schools in my village, so I learned to read and write from my mother. I played in the fields, sowing seeds, working with animals, jumping in the river, climbing trees, he says. My early skills were so developed by these experiences that when I finally joined school at 9, I got promoted twice in a year. Though a mechanical engineer by education, he has been mostly working in the field of education reforms for more than 27 years. He earned a B.Tech degree in mechanical engineering from the National Institute of Technology Srinagar, then REC Srinagar, in 1987. Due to differences with his father over the choice of engineering stream, he had to finance his own education. He also went for 2 years of higher education in earthen architecture at the Craterus School of Architecture in Grenoble, France in 2011. In 1988, after his graduation, Wangchuk, along with his brother and 5 peers, started Students' Education and Cultural Movement of Ladakh after experimenting with school reforms in government high schools. As SECMOL launched Operation New Hope in collaboration with the government education department and the village communities and the civil societies to bring reforms in the government school systems. This movement, with an alternate and pragmatic approach to education, led to a massive drop in failure rates of school children. Ice Stupa. In January 2014, Wangchuk started a project called the Ice Stupa. His aim was to find a solution to the water crisis being faced by the farmers of Ladakh in the critical planting months of April and May before the natural glacial melt waters start flowing. By the end of February in 2014, they had successfully built a 2-storied prototype of an ice stupa, which could roughly store 150,000 liters of winter stream water, which nobody wanted at that time. In February 2018, a group of young local sculptors and artists from Ladakh built an actual 10 feet high stupa. The wondrous sculpture is made entirely of ice, and it took them 25 days of hard work and dedication to complete the project. What makes it more special and challenging for the team was the extreme conditions under which they worked. As the stupa was housed inside another giant ice tower, Ice Stupa artificial glacier, they had to work in very low temperatures of around minus 12 degrees Celsius. In the late 2016, the idea started gaining traction from the authorities in the Swiss Alps. Wangchuk was invited by the president of Pontresina, a municipality in the Engadine Valley, Switzerland, to build ice stupas and to add to the winter tourism attractions. In October 2016, Wangchuk and his team went to the Swiss Alps and started building the first ice stupa of Europe together with the Swiss partners. He's always up with a solution. In 2015, when Ladakh faced a crisis due to a landslide which blocked the Phuktal River in Zanskar and caused formation of a 15-kilometer-long lake, which became a huge threat for the downstream populations, Wangchuk proposed to use a siphon technique to drain the lake and the water jet erosion to safely cut the edges instead of blasting the lake as was being planned. However, his advice was ignored and blasting work was carried on. On the 7th of May 2015, the lake finally burst into a flash flood which destroyed 12 bridges and many fields. He was invited by the government of Sikkim to apply the siphon technique for another dangerous lake in that state. In September 2016, he led a 3-week expedition to the South Lanok Lake in northwest Sikkim, which had been declared dangerous for the last few years. His team camped for 2 weeks at the lake amidst rain and snow, installing the first phase of a siphoning system to drain the lake to a safer level until other measures were taken up. In 2013, on repeated requests from the students' community of Ladakh, Wangchuk helped launch the New Ladakh movement, a social campaign and Ladakh's version of Green Party, with the aim of working for sustainable education, environment and economy. It also aimed at uniting all local political leaders under one banner for the growth and development of Ladakh. Eventually, the members decided to make it into a non-political social movement. From June 1993 until August 2005, Wangchuk also founded and worked as the editor of Ladakh's only print magazine, Ladakh's Malong. In 2001, he was appointed to be advisor for the education in the Hill Council government. In 2002, together with other NGO heads, he founded the Ladakh Voluntary Network, a network of Ladakhi NGOs, and served in its executive committee as the secretary till 2005. He was appointed to the drafting committee of the Ladakh Hill Council's government vision document Ladakh 2025 and entrusted with the formulation of the policy on education and tourism in 2004. The document was formally launched by Dr. Manmohan Singh, the Prime Minister of India, in 2005. In 2005, Wangchuk was appointed as a member of the National Governing Council for Elementary Education in the Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India. From 2007 to 2010, Wangchuk worked as an education advisor to MS, a Danish NGO working to support the Ministry of Education for educational reforms. He was appointed to the Jammu Kashmir State Board of School Education in 2013, and in 2014, he was appointed to the expert panel for framing the J&K State Education Policy and Vision document. Since 2015, Sonam has started working in establishing the Himalayan Institute of Alternatives. He is concerned about how most of the universities, especially those in the mountains, have become irrelevant to the realities of life. In 2016, Wangchuk initiated a project called Farm Stays Ladakh, which provides tourists to stay with local families of Ladakh run by mothers and middle-aged women. The project was officially inaugurated in 2016. In June 2020, in response to the Indo-China border skirmishes, Sonam Wangchuk appealed to the Indians to use wallet power and boycott Chinese products. This appeal was covered by major media houses and supported by various celebrities. Following the Galwan Valley clash, on 15 June 2020, there were calls across the border to boycott Chinese goods. Sonam has received a number of prestigious awards. 2018 Raman Magsaysay Award. 2018 also Honorary D.Lit by Symbiosis International. Eminent Technologist of the Himalayan region by IIT Mandi. Indians for Collective Action Honor Award, San Francisco, California. Men of the Year Awards, Social Entrepreneur of the Year. Global Award for Sustainable Architecture. State Award for Outstanding Environmentalist by the J&K government, Rolex Award for Enterprise, International Terra Award for Best Earth Building, the UNESCO Chair Earthen Architecture by CRAT, France, Real Heroes Award by CNN, IBN TV, the Green Teacher Award by Sanctuary Asia, the Ashoka Fellowship for Social Entrepreneurship by Ashoka USA, Man of the Year by The Week, Governor's Medal for Educational Reforms in Jammu and Kashmir. Sonam says and believes, you in big cities need to live simply so that we in the mountains can simply live. Quoting from the Harappan blogs, let me take you back to where we began this episode. Just imagine a school where education is not just about rote learning, formulae, and long passages of text to pass an exam. A school where students learn eco-friendly innovation and engineer sustainable infrastructure. A school with the educational philosophy of learning by doing. A school where the admission criteria is that you have failed your class 10 examinations. Sounds like a movie plot, doesn't it? This might remind you of Phunchok Wangdo School from the popular Hindi film Three Idiots. Amir Khan played a character named Phunchok Wangdo who loved learning for the sake of learning and ended up starting a school in the hills where he taught children innovation and invention. But this is no fiction. It's the real life and work of an out-of-the-box educator, our own Sonam Wangchuk. Imagine Sonam Wangchuk is a man who didn't go to school to the age of 9. There were no schools around him after all. When he did go to school, he struggled with language barriers, was often dismissed as a stupid child. His father was a renowned politician in the region, but Sonam went against the well-laid path of political life to pursue mechanical engineering and financed his education himself. Then he realized that his true passion was calling in innovation and educational reforms. Wangchuk believes that the true purpose of education is to learn skills that help us live a life in harmony with nature. He believes education should teach us how to solve challenging problems and to find simple and sustainable solutions to real-life problems. A true Indian hero, we salute him. If you like the content of this video, do like and subscribe to my channel Meet Meenamma. Don't forget to click the bell icon for regular updates. Also do comment and interact with Meenamma. I would love your opinions. Meenamma looks forward to meeting you again in the next video and episode. Till then, ladies and gentlemen, have a great life and make a difference. Oy, 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 oy. Ninamma.